Hi, and welcome to Road to the Summit here with the Broker Carrier Summit coming up in 2 short weeks, April 28th through May 2nd in Indianapolis. We're counting it all down here on our weekly live show, Thursdays, 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern Time, where we discuss what's going to go on in Indianapolis and meet some of the people that will be out there. We have a great show for you today. Um, Three great guests lined up here. Brian AuBuchon coming out first, then Spencer Hayes and Michael Lombard. But let's talk about what's going on there. Special shout out to Thai Software, our sponsor here for the show, for the Road to the Summit, every Thursday afternoon at, again, 11 a.m. Central Time. So special shout out to Thai. And some of the highlights that we have going on, we have golf starting Monday afternoon, and that is going to be a great course. It's a great time. It's the Post and Pray Classic right there on the hat. Great swag available there as well. So, and H&F Logistics is sponsoring that. So we're going to kick it off there Tuesdays. Learning labs. So we have a great lineup of learning labs coming your way on that part of it. And then Wednesday and Thursday, the official conference agenda. And then Friday, a great networking session. And as everyone rolls out to the airport and goes home for the weekend. But looking forward to it. Again, it's just right around the corner. We have a strong showing on registrations. We have a lot of brokers, a lot of carriers. I think 15,000 loads available there at the summit. And one of the great things about the Broker Carrier Summit is that deals get done at the summit. You have great broker and carrier partners coming together and seeing available loads, seeing available capacity, and putting deals together on the fly right there in Indianapolis. So fun time. If you haven't registered, go ahead and register right now. You can find it at thebrokercarriersummit.com. But without further ado, let's bring on our first guest. Is Brian AuBuchon coming to us live. Where are you based out of, Brian?
We're out of the St. Louis area.
St. Louis area.
Yep.
Very good. Very good. Give us a little bit of introduction about who you are and what you do.
Sure. Once again, Brian AuBuchon is his name. I'm Vice President of Logistics for TAB. TAB is the logistics arm of Arter Express. So, and under the Arter Express umbrella, we also have, Ameripol Staffing. We also have Accelerate Financial. So we've got, quite a repertoire of offerings to offer to the carriers and, agents as well. We're a agent heavy network on our logistics side, so really expanding on that front. But we also have regular customers that we're managing freight for with our regular in-house brokerage as well. So we been in business about 27 years, so been around the block a few times, and just trying to come up with new and better ways, whether it's relationships, whether it's technology, whether it's all of those things to survive this crazy market and come out on the other side even stronger.
It's a crazy market, may you live in interesting times. So this is your third Broker Carrier Summit.
Yes, sir. Right? I attended the Kansas City and the Fort Worth last year, and this will be my third. So yeah.
Perfect. And what do you like best about the Broker Carrier Summit? What keeps bringing you back event after event?
Well, a lot of pressure. No, I'm kidding. Good buddies with Trey, and so I feel we talk a lot about what you guys have going on, as well as what I've experienced there in person too. So there's a lot of relationships there. Some of the other TIAs and other larger groups sometimes miss the mark a little bit, in my opinion, from a personnel perspective and from an opportunity to meet everybody. I mean, Some of those are so big that you could be at a conference for 2 or 3 days and never see some of the folks that you intended on seeing. So I do like the size of the BCS, even though it's getting bigger and bigger, and maybe that'll be a problem at some point as well. But that's still an opportunity that we're going to overcome. I know the flexibility you guys are trying to improve every single time, based off of feedback from the participants and so forth. And that's insightful to me as a participant. That you guys are trying to listen and react to what people really want to see, and not just put a product out there that and hope everybody adapts to that product. So
one of the and one of the things that, because I was at TIA last week, great conference, 1,600. So it's getting rather large, and there's a few people there that I didn't get a chance to run into. But it's mostly brokers, right? It's mostly brokers. Or if you go to a lot of other, it's mostly carriers. But this one has a really good mix. I think it's something that no one else has. A good mix of 20, 30, 40, 3 truck fleets, right? There's the smaller carriers and the brokerages, and just really the business development opportunities for both sides to engage in right in the moment.
No doubt. I mean, TIA, you look at TIA, and it's really it's built for brokers. And you've got TCA, and all those that are really built for the carriers. But yeah, you guys are trying to sort of blend those two, and it's something really hasn't really been done very well before. I mean, there are carriers that show up at some of these other at TIA. There are some brokers that show up at TCA, but for the most part, it's an exclusive club. And here, it truly is a bit of a melting pot. And I applaud the the vision to create this, because I really do think that it's very valuable. It really is, both for the broker and for the carrier.
It is. Dan's done a great job with the vision, executing the vision, getting up to where it is now, and it's a great trajectory on that. Coming up in Indianapolis, what are some of the highlights you're looking forward to?
Well, I know there are some new tech participants there, so I'd like to re-engage with some of them, and obviously through some of the networking and so forth. Got quite a few meetings scheduled, so that is something that's nice too. Once again, it's not so big and so structured that you don't have a lot of flexible time to meet with individuals, and that's something that I think too. I mean, it's a little bit longer conference this year that are in Indy than it has been in the past, to once again listen to the participants who say, I need a little bit more time to do this, because if you go from speaker to speaker to speaker to speaker, you really don't have much time to interact as you would like. Yes, there's the out of the seminar type thing, the happy hours and those types of things, but let's be honest, those are good, but they're not the most productive when it comes to making relationships or sitting down and actually talking shop, as much as making introductions. And at least from my perspective, at least. And
it can get a little chaotic.
Yeah. So there's a lot of folks that go to all of these, but there's new participants that come to these as well. So.
Yeah, and you speak about tech, and that reminds me that Trey and I will be doing a show next Wednesday, all day, with a lot of our tech partners. It'll be like a tech day, a little bit of demo, a little bit of getting to know those people that will be out there, those tech providers. On a personal level, they'll be out in Indy in a couple weeks, and it's good. If you're shopping for tech, if you're looking for tech providers, to tune into that and get an introduction, put a name to a face, or a face to a name, and because there's no boots, it's all mingle, and if you're interested in learning more about anything, you can have a little bit of groundwork laid before you even get to Indy.
Yep, yep, no doubt, no doubt. And it's the fact that you don't have booths is it can be a little intimidating, quite honestly, when you walk through like a TIA or something like that,
Mhm.
and you feel like you're wearing a meat jacket, and you're
Yeah,
walking
yeah,
through
yeah.
a lion den, and it's you really can seek out the ones that you really want to talk to, and it'd be very productive as opposed to um, almost an annoyance or an avoidance. So
Yeah, it's the awkward first introduction when you're it can be an awkward first interaction whenever you're at a booth. um, because it's kind of prioritized of I want to sell you something instead of I want to talk about the industry, which is
right.
I think something that BCS does very well, right? Everyone's very approachable, conversations going on everywhere, and it's just a nice look and feel to everything.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
Right.
It's a very different feel than other industry events.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Brian, for your time today,
You bet.
and we will see you out in Indy just right around the corner, just the next few days.
Yeah, I'll be there. See you guys.
You bet. Thank you. Again, it's April 28th to May 2nd, and I think we might have an image that we can throw up there, give you all the details about the hotel, where the conference is going to be. There in Indianapolis, and it's going to be a great time. We have just building it. Oh, more people are showing up over and over again, and new entrants coming out, and it's just a great mix. I think we're about 50-50, uh, good split between brokers and carriers right now. So a lot of people wanting to come in, learn about their particular role in their company, learn about the other side. If you're a broker, learning more about the carrier world. If you're a carrier, looking more about the broker world, and part of that is we have level 1 DOT inspections. So we're going to jump on a bus, you're going to go over to R2X, and you're going to see the Indiana State Patrol do a level 1 US DOT inspection, and that's going to be a great wealth of learning. And it kind of introduces our next guest here, Spencer Hayes from R2X.
Hey Kevin, how are you? Thanks for having us.
Good. How are you guys doing? We got an extra. We got a bonus person
Got
here.
a bonus, yeah.
Just slid on in. You know, I'm
Perfect.
Joe
How are you
Cox
guys doing?
with R2X.
How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Can't complain. Glad to be
Good.
here.
Yeah.
Good. 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 And so we have Spencer, and I think I talked over your introduction.
Joel Cox with R2X. I'm over operations here.
Perfect, perfect. Well, let's talk about the BCS. Let's talk about Indianapolis. You guys are local indie guys, and let's talk about the USDOT inspections coming up, and kind of what to expect with those.
Yeah. Go ahead and hype up Indy.
Yeah, so we're based downtown Indianapolis, just a short bus ride away from the Union Station. So perfect location. I think we were picked because we have a parking lot. So I don't think the threshold was very high, but we do have a parking lot. So, but it's
Well,
good, good
that's
to be.
better than nothing, isn't it? You got to
Yeah.
put a truck in there.
So we're excited. James Gordon and Brian Woodring. I know Brian's with Anchor Reliable, and I'm not sure James's company, but I've been interacting with them. They're going to have their truck and trailer in our parking lot, and I think it'll be 2 or 3 days that the Indiana State Patrol will be here on site to walk through a level 1 inspection with everybody. I think it's huge for brokers like us. We hear about it. You have a driver that's running late because he's getting an inspection, but a lot of people have never been able to actually experience that and see what it's like and how much detail they go into. It's a good 45 minute to an hour process, if not more.
Yeah, I've heard about it many times as a broker outside the broker world, but I have never really seen one in action, right? And all the details that kind of go through that level 1, right? It'd be good
Yeah,
to learn that, to be able to see it and experience it, and walk away knowing much more than I did before.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Yeah. So R2X, have you guys been out to the Broker Carrier Summit before? I know R2X has, but I didn't know if you guys personally had been.
Yes, this will be my third. I went to the Kansas City
Yeah.
and Fort Worth one, and then we'll be here in Indy. So love the atmosphere. Something that we're definitely excited to be hosting in our own city.
Yeah. How about you, Spencer? You've been out before, haven't you?
So I haven't been out to them physically. I always partake in the golf tournament, but I'm more on the sales and marketing side of the business. So I leave the carrier operations side to Joel and Diedrich from our side. But I think the whole point of it, Ryan, is to get to know each other better and understand both sides. There's a lot of discourse online that tries to divide us, but at the end of the day, we can't get it done without each other. And even the DOT inspection, I think, kind of embodies what the whole conference is about, and just understanding each other. How can we be better partners? How can we be understanding? How can we be better communicating with each other? So I'm excited that it's here in Indy. Saves me a plane flight. So really looking forward to that part.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Being able to understand, walk a mile in someone else's shoes, right? And I really see that every single time that they show up at the Broker Carrier Summit. Is very interactive, much more interactive than the most conferences. People aren't afraid to speak out in the middle of the session and ask questions, really good questions, a lot of questions that come in. And it's really good information that's shared between the broker side and the carrier side.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's great to interact with our carrier partners, and we meet new carriers every time we go. And some of the great things that happens are kind of what you were talking about earlier with the trucking companies that maybe have 2 to 3 trucks. Those may not look great on paper, just because with the amount of fraudulent activity in this industry. But being able to meet that owner, put a face with the name, gives you a lot of trust to work with that carrier. I met Brian, the one that's bringing the truck. He came and talked to me. He was the only one driving, just getting started out, Fort Worth. So he wouldn't pass our qualifications because he didn't have, or he would pass, but he was getting declined by others because he didn't have an inspection. And if you see Brian's equipment, which you'll see in the level 1, I mean, it's top notch, great equipment. But he's getting dinged because he's just getting started out, and he's been doing this for over 20 years. So those are the types of relationships that you can't beat with this type of conference.
Yeah, you have to get face to face, right?
Yeah.
And we'll be talking about fraud as in Indianapolis. But the best way to combat fraud is, as a broker, work with carriers that you know.
Yeah.
Right. If you're a carrier, work with brokers that you know, and that eliminates about 99% of the fraudulent activity that will come across your desk.
Absolutely.
Definitely is. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time today, and I'll see you guys out probably at the golf on Monday.
Spencer will
I
be the
think
golfer.
this is about 10 days.
Yeah, we'll be out there Monday morning, bright and early.
Monday morning. Perfect. Look forward to you guys.
Awesome.
Right. Thanks,
Kevin.
See you guys. Perfect. So if you're a carrier trucker taking your truck to Indianapolis, they're at Union Station. Free truck parking from Truck Parking Club. Remember this coupon, because the coupon code is BCS Indy. I don't know if I have a graphic to throw up there, but if so, let's do that. Again, that's BCS Indy. Very catchy, very simple code for you to throw up there, and that is free truck parking. That's from Truck Parking Club. So with that, let's bring on. Oh, actually, before that, a fireside chat with Indiana governors. So that's going to be our keynote speaker and opening salvo at the PCS Summit is Mike Braun. Wednesday afternoon is going to be in-house. So the governor of Indiana will be there. answering, talking with Dan in a fireside chat. So this is going to be a really good session there. But let's bring on Michael Lombard. Always fun talking to Michael.
What's going on, Kevin? How are we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic.
I love your background.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, this is the new digs. This is 2025 in action. Getting it set up, the arena in here. Got a few things laying around, but yeah, it gets the point across.
It does. It does. It's a little bit more spiffy than mine.
Now you got the Peloton though, and my Peloton's right off screen. So again, that's good. It's you're passively promoting more people in the industry living an active lifestyle, and we love to see that over here on the Lombard trucking side of things, as well as the truck parking club thing. So background's perfect.
Thank you very much. So let's talk about fitness and talk about what's going on in your world these days.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, I'm from a truck parking club standpoint. Number one, I'm super excited to have joined the team at Truck Parking Club, and super excited about our partnership with Broker Carrier Summit. This will be my third time going to Broker Carrier Summit as well, going to Kansas City and Fort Worth, and I'm stoked for Indianapolis. But when it comes to Truck Parking Club, I have ever since our CEO and co-founder Evan Shelley had brought this online. I immediately had started engaging with him. He came on my show in early 2023. A little humble brag. I think my podcast might have been one of the first shows Evan jumped on, which is something I take a lot of pride in. And I've been able to keep in touch, and I kept in touch with Evan ever since. And likewise, I mean, as I was watching him and Truck Parking Club take off, he was watching me as well, and everything I was doing, especially coming off from being over the road. And what's awesome is that events like Broker Carrier Summit is when I would get to see Evan and talk to him. He's swung through Austin before, and him and I have linked up. So we maintained a great relationship. He brought Reed Lucilo onto the team to head the marketing department. And I got a phone call at the end of the year, where Evan and Reed were talking, and I had come up in conversation. And it was, Evan's one of those guys where if he gives you that call, that means it's time to go to war. So I'm stoked to be a part of this team and what we're doing for the industry. Everybody at the Truck Parking Club team is mission driven. It's the vibes here are unreal. There's definitely a gritty startup feel to it, but where it's different and what I love the most is that so many of the employees are all from within the industry. Customer service team being former drivers themselves. So it's like you get this gritty startup feel, like I'm sure people experience in the tech world, but it's people who come from within the industry. Like Evan has made it a point on how he's built and assembled this team. And so it's been nothing short of, some of the most fulfilling work I've been able to do. And it's crazy because I was doing it ever since I started my podcast, which is, connecting with drivers and really building and honing in on community, which is really, really big. On my front, the Lombard front, I mean, things have been freaking awesome. Back in November, I had competed in my first, full distance Ironman race. That's what I did. Actually, stemming from Broker Carrier Summit in Kansas City, I walked away from Matt's last year in Broker Carrier Summit so motivated and inspired by the people in this industry who are working so hard at solving problems, especially in what's really a tough market. That it motivated me to double down on myself. And that's why I had made this, I had just written up this goal, and I was just dialed in to where I'm going to lock in on something that's going to differentiate me from other people in the fitness space, with where my passion lies within the driver health side of things. And, that's when I dove into triathlon, and I made it a point. I went from zero triathlons. Granted, I was a truck driver who ran marathons, but I still have a weight loss testimony to go to it. It's not a very easy thing to go from 0 triathlons to Ironman in 6 months. And here I am about to go back to back in 6 months, where, next Saturday on the 26th, I'll go to the Woodlands for Ironman Texas. And there's a whole mission attached to this. I've partnered and linked up with Jeremy Raymer, who started Project 61, which is a nonprofit dedicated to helping solve this driver health epidemic. So we're moving 1 million miles per hour over here. There's a lot between the training, between full-time Truck Parking Club. I still do, I still work as a fitness coach as well. So, I mean, we are, we're rocking and rolling over here, and I'm excited to get to Indianapolis, especially coming off that race. It's when you get done with a big race like Ironman, you fall into sometimes these blues. Olympians get into this a lot.
Mhm.
They train for 4 years for an event, and then it's over. And sometimes those events are all of 30 seconds, and then it's over, and they get kind of these blues. And I felt those Ironman blues when you accomplish something so great. You're like, what's next? And so I'm stoked that I get to run the race on Saturday. And then come out to Indianapolis, that I should be there that Monday afternoon to be out there and be right with people I love being around.
It's awesome. That's all. So you have a lot going on. A lot going on. And it's always good to hear from. Is the Cybertruck going to be out in Indy, the truck parking club?
I know that is to be determined. I guess
Okay.
that falls on Evan's schedule. I know he's busy going back and forth. I know he wants to be there, but yeah, that'd be a question best suited for Evan. But we will see. I know people love catching that thing out in the wild. It was a big hit at Matt's. I'd say that this year at the Mid America Truck Show, it was amazing having the Cybertruck in there at Matt's. Definitely pulled a lot of people to our booth. And allowed us to have a lot of great conversations with a lot of our trucker members, as well as people who were able to really hear about the mission from us, and realizing that when it comes to this mission of solving the truck parking shortage, truck parking clubs become the change agent in this space. On the government side, I think people want to do something, they want to fund it, but it doesn't move very far. A lot of times local state municipalities are moving quickly to try to reinstate bans. We had an issue in San Antonio recently. So and the city of San Antonio, you have city council members who are saying, we should build truck parking facilities, but city planners saying, oh, we're not in the business of truck parking. So we could see that this is for the ball to move forward even an inch or a yard on either the market front. Again, we look at we're talking a lot about on LinkedIn about this market and all the stuff going on with tariffs and this and rates. I mean, it's not good on the travel center and travel truck stop side of things either. The places are closing, and nobody's dying to get into the truck stop market, so to speak. I mean, they're not really killing it on that front either. So, I mean, it's from the market side and from the government side, what you have is truck parking club continuing to emerge. I mean, of how many properties we're bringing on board each week, and the more and more properties we can get, in the more and more parking that's available, it becomes more widely accessible, becomes very much more affordable, and I think will be a huge game changer for the entire industry and for just truckers' well-being, for safety. I mean, at the end of the day, it's definitely an inherent safety issue when it comes to truck parking. And again, when for Broker Carrier Summit, it's a no-brainer to get to be able to create a space for more carriers to be able to attend BCS. I mean, I got to give a shout out to Ilya Denisenko, owner at ICV Express. I mean, he has yet to haul a load off a load board because of coming to events like BCS, because of linking up with guys like Kevin Rutherford, and he regularly is using Truck Parking Club because of how he runs his business, of how he moves his truck, and it allows him to make deliveries early and get the job done very quickly and efficiently. And I mean, he credits coming to BCS and being able to do that, and he doesn't need to worry about leaving his truck. I'll tell you, I've trucked through Indianapolis, and you park at that Flying J off of 465 there, and I mean, there's some people creeping around there, whereas our properties, you're not going to have to deal with that. I've gotten woken up in the middle of the night before staying at that Flying J. It's in a tough part of town. So, I mean, and hopefully by Broker Carrier, like by the time we're getting into Charlotte, there's even more properties around Charlotte, and we're able to do more. And as Broker Carrier Summit continues to grow, more and more carriers are able to come, and because they can possibly bring more than one truck. They can bring several of their drivers in. So we're excited. We're excited to be a part of this movement at BCS. Because again, clearly there's a problem in the industry. I think BCS is one of the paths forward of not only just solving the fraud issue, but keeping businesses afloat as we continue to wrestle through some tough times.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. It's a big boon. It helps both brokers and carriers, and and Truck Parking Club does as well. So again, that code is I
BCS
don't have it.
Indy. Yes, it's a
BCS
BCS
Indy.
Indy.
Thank you very much.
All lowercase. Yep. If you can and if you haven't downloaded the app, you can go to truckparkingclub.com. It's available on the App Store as well as the Google Play Store. The app itself is free, without a doubt. And when you book the parking, just make sure you put in the right date and dates and times, and use that. There's a spot for the promo code to be put in. Just make sure it's all lowercase. Again, BCSINDY. There it is, right up on the screen. And for anything else, I mean, if you're a driver who wants to know more information, if you're a driver who's actively involved into a community, creates content, is present on YouTube, and wants to help this industry, again, I'm looking to connect with drivers and motor carriers who also want to be a part of the solving the problem. And that's kind of what I have the helm on here at Truck Parking Club, is managing our partner affiliate program. And so getting guys on here partnered with us to kind of help talk about what we do, and post and talk about how it can, how it benefits them. So, I mean, if Truck Parking Club is benefiting you and you're somebody who makes content that is informational for the industry, we'd love to work with you, help boost your brand, help get your word out there. But at the same time, get the word out there about Truck Parking Club and about how guys don't need to be on the on-off ramps. You don't need to, you're guaranteed the parking at our property locations. I know I've paid for parking at major truck stop chains and gotten there to have it be full. So, I mean, with the live feed going on, you definitely know that you're going to be getting a spot. If I know we do have some travel centers on our platform, and it's a park then pay system there. So you can't book those travel centers ahead of time. So and again, if you're a company that's looking to grow, and you're looking to add assets, there's multi-use cases to using us as drop yards and everything like that. But again, we're always looking to partner with some content creators, people in this space who want to help solve this problem and help some drivers get parked at the end of the day, because there's people who probably don't know about us, but they listen to maybe your TikTok or your YouTube channel, and you can help them out, give them some free parking, tell them about the app, and help this mission continue to grow.
Cool. Thank you so much, Michael.
Hey, thanks for having
Indianapolis in just a few days.
Looking forward to Indy. Looking forward to getting me some of that St. Elmo's Steakhouse cocktail sauce, that shrimp cocktail. If you're going to Indy, that is one thing you cannot miss. St. Elmo's Steakhouse, the shrimp cocktail. Crazy how, I'm a New Englander, East Coast guy originally, and I know good seafood, and I say it all the time, best shrimp cocktail you ever get is at St. Elmo. So take my word for it.
We'll be hitting it up. We definitely will. See you in a few days.
We'll see you then, man.
Cool. So with that, we have a bonus guest here today. It is Joel Flores. So let's bring Joel up here. How are you doing?
Awesome. Good afternoon.
Good. So tell us about DOT inspections and kind of what we'll be doing in Indianapolis.
From what I understand, we're going to be doing some mock DOT inspections to kind of show everybody there what we do as far as a level 1 DOT inspection. Everything from the tractor to the trailer to underneath, the brakes, the airlines, you name it. We're going to be looking at it and doing some question and answer, and maybe just kind of enlightening anybody who's attending on what we do and what we look for.
Mm-hmm. What's the best piece of advice that you can give to truck drivers and carriers out there when it comes to inspections, when it comes to best practices?
Pre-trip is always an important thing to do. Pre-trip, preventative maintenance, and just being prepared for that inspection. Too often I'll stop a truck have a truck driver not prepared for that inspection, whether they can't find the paperwork or they can't find the bill lading or any of the documents that we need for the inspection process. And then also knowing how to operate the controls or some of the things that we need them to do in order to check some of the things that we have to check. There's a 37-point inspection process. for a level 1 inspection. And most officers don't deviate from that. So
Yeah.
we can't just really jump from step 1 to step 15 and try to go back to step 2 if the driver doesn't know how to operate that number. So we try to go in that line and try to make sure that it's systematic and that, we're standard across the United States and essentially North America, because this is North America with United States, Canada, and Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so what I hear from that is to be organized and be prepared, right?
Correct.
That builds up your credibility. It gets through the 37 steps quicker, and it just makes everyone's day a little bit easier.
Yeah, and contrary to popular belief, we don't want to have you on the side of the road or parked on the shoulder any longer than we need to. We want to get you down the road. We want you to, we have a job to do, you have a job to do, and we want to make sure that, everybody's on the road safely, and we're, going to get you going as soon as we possibly can. But it kind of delays the process when we're sitting there waiting for 10, 15 minutes while you're looking for your registration or your paperwork or your hazmat permit or whatever permits you might be needing for that load or for that trip. It's really important to have a good organized paperwork binder and just being prepared.
Just makes everything so much simpler for all the parties involved.
Yes, it does.
Is be organized and prepared and go through without any hiccups. But I guess a certain percentage of drivers, just aren't prepared, and it kind of creates a little bit of havoc going through the checklist.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to mostly about doing this learning lab, if you will, in Indy, and sharing kind of those best practices and kind of interacting with people like me who haven't seen a US level 1 inspection and or somewhat familiar with it, but not really familiar with it at all.
I think just maybe pulling the curtain back and showing everybody what we do. I don't think anything that we do we try to hide. When I do an inspection, after I finish the inspection and I document any of the violations that I find, I go through that inspection report with the driver so he knows clearly what the issue is and where it's at. So if I document an air leak violation or if I document a brake violation or any violation, I don't want him to be in the dark or the carrier to be in the dark as far as where that violation is, what's wrong with it, and why I came to the conclusion that I came to. So going through that, showing everybody what we're looking for, what we do, and just letting people know that with my department, we strive for voluntary compliance. So that's the big thing I think I want to make sure I communicate is just voluntary compliance. We don't want companies or carriers or drivers to try to play catch up with what we find and what we do. We want them to stay ahead of us to, if I stop a truck and I don't find any violations, that's great. I'm going to document nothing and send you on your way. But it's those carriers that, that they're not organized. They're not prepared.
Yeah.
They don't complete preventative maintenance. And they just, fly by the seat of their pants, and we catch them. And then all of a sudden it's a big to do. They get upset. And, it's something that I think if you just stayed ahead of it and stayed on top of things, we all can kind of work together and, again, strive for voluntary compliance.
Very good. Our previous guest has a question for you. We might have covered a lot of it, but he wanted me to ask about the DOT Blitz in May and what drivers should be mindful of, besides prepared and organized.
Right. So being prepared and organized. So the DOT Blitz, we will be checking for brakes. There's going to be targeted enforcement for that.
Okay.
So don't be surprised if we stop you and ask you to come, off road to a parking lot or somewhere safe so we can do that full level 1 inspection, get underneath your truck, and purposely do that full level 1 inspection. I mean, there's 3 different levels. There's more than that, but Normally you'll see level 1, 2, or 3, but we're going to be targeting level 1 enforcement or inspections at that time. And just know that you're more likely going to be stopped than not.
Mm-hmm. When you say it brings up a good question, and I just don't know this. What's the difference between level 1, level 2, level 3? Kind of. Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah. So level 1 is the full gamut. We're checking
Mhm.
everything. We're checking the driver credentials. We're walking around the truck and the trailer or the equipment, checking um, lights, airlines. We're checking everything that we can see. And then we're checking the brakes. We're going underneath the truck, checking the brakes, drive shaft, suspension. You name it underneath the truck, we're looking
Mhm.
at it. Level 2 is everything but checking the brakes and going underneath it. We might poke our head underneath it and look at the brake chambers
Yeah.
or the drums or to see if we can identify something from the outside in, but we won't be going underneath it. And then the level 3 is a credential only, driver only. We're not documenting any equipment violations. It's mostly checking CDLs, logbooks, paperwork, and that driver focused type of inspection. So if there's hazmat involved, that's going to be a different component. If it's oversized load or any type of other load
Yeah.
or commodity, it's going to be that specific. But you're mostly going to see level 1 or 2, 3 from most troopers or officers across the United States.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time and joining the show today, Sergeant Flores, and look forward to seeing you out in Indianapolis here in the next few days.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Take care. Have a good day.
You too. Sergeant Flores, level 1 inspections. It's going to be a great opportunity for everybody who shows up and participates in that. So really looking forward to that. Also looking forward to the end of the summit loaded and rolling party, and that's going to be at the Delaware Manufacturing Facility, and that is next to the Indiana Motorway Speedway Racetrack. And everybody knows what goes on at the Indy 500. So it's going to be a special event, be fun, great networking session, and great facility. And we are going to, I'm sure, learn a little bit about Indy cars. But once again, the governor of Indiana will be there as well, Mike Brum. He'll be doing a fireside with Dan Lindsay on Wednesday afternoon. It's going to be a very special session as well. The learning labs are fantastic. Adam Wingfield was supposed to be co-hosting with me today, but he is in the middle of a fire. So he always has a great learning lab along with others there. So with that said, another shout out to Thai Software for sponsoring the Road to the Summit. It is summit season, and we are almost there. Under 2 weeks to go. So if you haven't registered now, and look forward to seeing everybody in Indianapolis week from Monday. With that, we'll sign off, and we'll be back next week for another special episode. Plus, actually next Wednesday, Trey and I will be doing the Edge, and we're going to have a great lineup. We'll be promoting that this week. Great lineup of our tech partners who will be out in Indianapolis as well. Be part demo, part personal interview. We'll get to know them. You'll put a name to a face to a name, and be ready to meet up with the tech partners that you're looking for. They're in Indy. So with that said, we'll wrap the show right now, and see you next week.